Welcome back to Jolly Julie's Crafts. Please like and subscribe. Remember to click the notification bell so every time I upload a video, you can see it. I upload videos every Tuesday, either Dollar Tree hauls or craft videos. Now today I've seen all of these fabric pumpkins everywhere. I see these velvet pumpkins at Dollar Tree. Of course, we don't have them. So I decided to make pumpkins. That's what we're doing today. So there's this little cute pumpkin that I made as an example. Very, very cute. Using just an old shirt that we had. So it's very, very cool and it's easy. It's a super easy DIY. So we're going to make one of these today. All right. So what you need to do is you need to take a shirt. A lovely friend of mine gave me this shirt. Thank you. Thank you. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off the arm and I'm going to use it. So here we go. Take your handy dandy little scissors. Now when you're cutting it, you want to cut just below the armpit where my face is. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to put this up here. You are going to need the shirt. There's this wired jute twine that I bought from Dollar Tree a couple hauls ago. Gorilla Glue. You're going to need elastics and you are going to need leaves. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with cutting. There we go. Cutting the fabric. So I'm just going right by the armpit, not too close, a little bit down from the armpit, and I'll show you what it looks like after I cut it. Okay. And this is very similar to the fabric that I used for the previous pumpkin. So I mean the desired result is the same. Let me just kind of cut it. Helps to cut when you make that noise. It makes the cutting easier. Just choo choo choo. Okay, so and then you can see on the arm where the top of the, I guess the button thing, you know when you're buttoning it up here, there's usually a piece of fabric. So like this, you can't really tell because it's the same color. You're just gonna cut there, so above the wrist fabric, if you will. Okay, and then you're gonna end up with just like a tube of fabric that you're gonna use. So just cut it out. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that. You're also going to need rice and some sort of stuffing. Now I do notice that there's a little button here. So I'm going to just, actually maybe I'll leave that on. It might look cute. Or, let's see. I'm going to cut this little piece off from the inside because that button was to make the shirt shorter if you wanted to. So actually I think I'll remove the button entirely. Just gonna take my handy dandy scissors. Ooh. Where'd that go? Okay, and then just cut the threads here on the inside. Now when we start, what we're gonna first do is we're gonna take our tube of fabric. Okay, this is going to be the base because it's wider, and this is going to be the top because it's thinner. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and turn it inside out. Now what we need to do is we need to take an elastic. One elastic. I'm going to choose pink because all the other colors are not as close to red as pink is. And then this is where the jute wire comes into play here. So what I want you to do is take a piece of jute wire, of this jute wire stuff, and you just measure it to a little bit longer than the length of the sleeve that you cut off. Okay, so I'm just going to take my wire cutters and I'm going to cut 6 of these. Okay. Now it can be a little difficult because it seems to want to come up, this stuff that covers the jute. So I'm just going to do 6 of them, the same length. And you'll understand why. And we're excuse me. We're not going to need the whole length, but in order to make the section of the pumpkin, that's what we're going to be using to tighten up the pumpkin sections. And in fact, you might need to, I think I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. You're going to need maybe scissors also to help cut off the jute because it's a little tricky. So 6 of these. All right. Okay. I'm just going to cut these and I'm going to put you on pause for a moment while I do that so you don't have to stand here and watch me. So just cut these and come back in 2 minutes. Okay, so now I have all 6 of these cut. Very good. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to take these 6 and we're going to open the hole and stick them up inside. Oops, hold on a second here. Hold them up, put them inside, and then we have all the jute and all of the fabric together. We're just going to make it like this. We're going to kind of put it together like this. So that's what you have. And from here, you're just going to go ahead and you're going to wrap the elastic around it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as many times as you want. It doesn't have to be perfect because this is the inside of the pumpkin. I might just put these down a bit. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I didn't put a glue gun on here last time, but I'm going to put some glue on here because I don't want the jute coming through. So we're just going to do that and wait for it to dry. Okay, so I'm going to put you guys on hold again until this dries, and then come back to me. So the glue has now set up, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the sleeve back inside right, okay? Now, you'll notice that you still have these 6 little guys. These are going to make the portions of the, I guess the portions of the pumpkin, I guess you'd say. And so you just kind of spread them out into 6 kind of even layers. So like this. Okay, and now what I did for my other pumpkin is, because I didn't really like the way it was sitting, so what I did was I put some rice in the bottom of it. So I took about a cup of rice, just because a cup of rice, and you stick it in there because it weights it down a little bit, and then it sits better when you're trying to make the sections. So you just kind of boop, 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 boop. So just kind of get it as evenly as possible and little, there, okay. So from there, what we're going to do, I'm a quilter, so I always have batting on hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take batting from a quilt that I made recently and just rip it up into pieces. So I have that down here beside me in this little bag. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you at first. So there's this big, huge piece, right? And what I did is I've been watching some other YouTubers how they stuff things. And instead of just stuffing it in like this in a big ball, what you need to do is, to make it more evenly stuffed, you take a piece of cotton and you rip it, 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 and kind of give it, I don't know, room to breathe, and then you stick it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stuff this whole thing, and then I'm going to come back to you, because there's no need you watching me. It's like watching paint dry. No need. So I'll see you in a few minutes. So now I am done stuffing it. If you don't have, like, if you're not a quilter like me and you don't have that on hand, apparently at Walmart they have cheap pillows that have fiberfill, or you can just buy fiberfill at Michael's 50% off. So what I want you to do is just take the top and kind of squeeze it together like that. Twist it around, see if it's as full as you want it. I'm happy with my fullness of my pumpkin. So then what you do is you just squish it all together, and at this point you're going to take another elastic. Okay? It doesn't matter the color of the elastic because they're going to get covered anyway. And so you just kind of twist it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until it is as tight as you want it. I think I'm just going to do it one more time. Okay, so now this is what the pumpkin looks like. It has these scary little legs coming out from underneath. But what we're going to do, I meant to do 6, but I got distracted and only have 5. So what you do is you take these little wire guys and you wrap them and you just pull tight. So you can see that the pumpkin looks like it's cut in half now. See? Cut in half. Okay? And that's how we're going to start making our first sections. Now the reason I'm doing the wire twine instead of regular twine is because once you squeeze it together as tight as you want it, you can just basically wrap it around each other. So I'm just going to do it a little bit more tightly. All right? Wrap it around each other. Give it a good twist. Okay? And then what you can do is you can wrap it around the middle section. See this little guy here? The middle where you just put your elastic. So you just twist it around that, and you just keep twisting it, and twisting it, and twisting it, and twisting it. Just so it starts a nice stem, and also you use up your twine. That way, your jute twine that you just used. Okay, so now we have 3 more sections we can make. And I typically like to kind of pull them up around each other so I can play them off each other, which is why it's better to have 6. But sometimes you just don't get what you want in life. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the next wires here on the back. You see 2 wires here, and we're going to tie them tight against each other again. So I'm just going to go ahead and tie them really, really tight. Tight, tight, tight. So you can see I'm making a little section here, okay? Now, tight as it can be, and then you just, again, twist them around each other as if they were pipe cleaners, okay? So I'm just going to do the one last section and pull it up tight, and then I'm going to do that and show you how it looks, okay? This one here, I'm just kind of pulling tight onto itself. I'm going to twist it around the pumpkin, and that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the camera while I twist up the twine, and then I'm going to show you what I do next. So just come back in a couple minutes, okay? See you in a minute. So now we have our cute little pumpkin. Look, it has different little sections. I love it. It's so cute. What I'm going to do now is I want to take some of the jute twine. Although you can see the stem already has the stuff wired around it. What I'm going to do is, I don't like how that looks like that because you can see all the red peeking out. So I'm just going to wrap twine around the whole thing, put a couple leaves, and add a little twirl. So I'm just going to start the twine and show you how I do that. Luckily the twine is already on here. So I'm just going to take a little spot of glue, my glue gun, my handy dandy glue gun, and put a little bit of glue right at the base, okay? So a little bit of glue down there. And then I'm just going to take my twine and start wrapping it. And it doesn't take much. You just have to wrap it, wrap it, wrap it. So I'm just going to go ahead and wrap the entire thing, the entire top, and I'll be right back, okay? This is how it looks. The stem is all wrapped. Very good. Now we're just going to put a couple of leaves here and a little stem. So I just happen to have these leaves in my stockpile, and I think they look really, really cute. So I'm going to cut them off. Let's see, it didn't work very well. And 2. I think I'm just going to do 2 because I like 2 together. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of position them and put a little glue drop in the middle. Glue drop, dewdrop, what is it called? I don't know. Okay, a little drop of glue and make them like, there we go. See, 2 together now. And then I'm just going to glue them into the stem. Now choose which side you like. Which is your favorite, and then you just put your leaves, you just glue them on, and we're almost done, guys. And this is how we're making a super fun crafty craft. Alright, but I want these to be standing up a little bit, so I'm just going to poke this pencil in here and lift those leaves up a bit. So it's kind of like that. So that's how I want the leaves to look on the side there. And then the next thing we're going to do, and the final thing, is how we make this little twirly guy here. You see that twirly whirly guy? Very cute. So what you do is you just take a pencil. I don't necessarily think I want it to be this long because it's too long. So I'm just going to take a pencil and you wrap the twine around the pencil. Boop, 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 boop. Like so. So it's wrapped around just like that. Okay, I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's wrapped around. And you just hold it there, and you wrap, and you wrap, and you wrap. It has to be circular pencil, though, because if you try like a mechanical pencil, there's that plastic stuff on the bottom, and it won't let you take it off. So I think I just want it to be about that, well, maybe a bit longer than that. About, I might even just use this whole piece, because you have to tie it around the bottom, too. So I want it to be like this long, okay? So about that long, and you can shape it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap it around the base. So I'm wrapping it around the base of the twine. And because it is corded twine, or I don't know how you call it, wire twine, you can just wrap it around there. And then you just pull out your little guy here, and however you want it to sit. And let's see, is that kind of like that? So that is done. That's how it looks. That's how it looks on the top. That's how it looks from the side, and it really, really is very cute. I'm wondering though if I wanted to add a third leaf. Just cut that off. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Okay, so I might just add a third leaf in there. Yeah, I think I'll add the third leaf. Just like, no, I like the two. Okay, so there we go, and that is our fabric pumpkin. Thanks for joining me at Jolly Julia's Crafts. Please remember to like and subscribe. I upload every Tuesdays. Click on that notification bell, and every time I upload, you'll know. Thanks, and have a great day.